Today's episode, Selling a Feeling. With nostalgia-based storytelling becoming ever more prevalent in the modern entertainment landscape, how can this trend be seen in theme parks and immersive entertainment? And has it always sort of been there? We share our opinions and argue the finer points pertaining to the slippery slope between IP nostalgia and general fan service. All that and more, right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fully Immersed. It's your favorite podcast for all things themed entertainment. I'm your host, Lane Calder, joined once again by my good friends, Spencer Bennett.
Hello, hello.
And the big cheese himself, Tobias Lerman-Matante.
What's up?
Oh,
sounds... No Espanol this time.
Shit, ¿cómo estamos?
Very good.
Welcome, guys, and welcome, folks, to another episode. Thanks for hanging with us while we took a bit of a break there.
Sorry.
I had a big trip for work. Toby is currently on a big trip for work. Spencer is also doing a lot of work things, and so it gets busy sometimes. And the thing about this industry is sometimes it's hard to predict when exactly it'll get busy. So, hey, we're in it. So but we found some time today, and we're gonna discuss something that kind of came up with the recent the recent release of none other but the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And Spencer kind of had an idea to riff off of that, off of the online reaction to that movie and some of the finer points there, and kind of take it in our own direction with how things like nostalgia-based storytelling or selling nostalgia are such a massive part of themed entertainment, especially in today's landscape. And so we're going to kind of talk about that a lot in a lot of different forms today, sort of riffing off of some of the past discussions we've had on IP in general, and kind of take it in a direction where how much nostalgia is like good and feels fun as a fan. And then there's a certain point or a wall or a line that you get to where sometimes it feels like this is just classic fan service. We're just getting fed from the trough, you know? And so we're going to go into that
in front of a baby.
Absolutely. So we're going to hop into that today. Spencer, tell us why this idea came about.
Yeah, I mean, you touched a little bit on it about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I largely don't care about. I mean, I like Nintendo. Yeah. I'm like a Nintendo fan for sure.
Did anyone see it here? I didn't see it.
I'm
not going to.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen the first one. So
good.
It was exactly
good on you. Good on you. I'm happy for you.
I swore off Illumination long ago.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Despicable Me 1 is good. I like it.
Sure. Their first movie is their good one. Yeah.
That's before I swore it off. But yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, they it came out and it just like I don't know if you guys are like as actively like watching like movie YouTube and different things like that, but
you definitely watch more than
I have less of a life. But yeah, like this has been like a whole like spicy discourse of like I think most people agree that this movie has no substance, which again the first one didn't, so I'm not surprised.
Nope.
But that it really is just like set pieces and like, hey, look at this. You remember this? Here's the music cue. Here's
a lot of shit on the screen.
Yeah, here's Star Fox. Here's all these various Nintendo characters making cameos, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. I like those characters, but there's just like nothing beneath the surface. And there's like, you know, this, like I said, spicy discourse between like, hey, that's okay. I still like it. I enjoyed it. It was fun, and you know, this is insulting your intelligence. And it's just like really hot and contested. And I just think it's kind of funny because I agree with both sides, and it really depends on the content of what we're discussing. Because like we've talked a little bit about Spider-Man No Way Home, which again is a movie, but how like you and I, Lane, love that movie and Toby doesn't. But all reasons are valid.
It absolutely
is. Like
I like it because it's just fun, but also every point that Toby makes is pretty true. Like it's not a movie that I'd be like, let's watch it again right now. You know,
I haven't seen it
it's
since
not like
the
it's
theater,
gonna have
and
that same amount of
don't.
whimsy or
It'll suck.
magic. You know,
and I don't intend to do that because what I got out of it was that theatrical going experience, which was effectively a theme park ride. Right? Like I got my pops of adrenaline, of dopamine, of whatever for. I mean, 2.5 hours, which is, you know, longer than any ride. But afterwards, it was like, cool. I didn't get anything like deep and emotionally profound out of that. Not to say theme park rides can't do that, and when they can, it's incredible. But it was more just like a thrill ride, effectively,
Sure.
with on the screen. And so I don't know. I just think it's funny that this is like really feels like it's coming to a head in the movie space, at least. Like for so long, we would get away with it, and then I really think Marvel was the first one to like jump the shark on this with like the cameo fests in all of the recent movie. Like the multiverse brought this like full circle to where people were like, oh, this is like annoying.
Yeah, I think that Marvel kind of got burned on it first, maybe, and then Star Wars like immediately after. I feel like,
I mean, Episode 9, like bringing the Emperor back is like thing, like we're gonna diffuse all of these narrative corners we've written ourselves into with the Emperor, and like that one is like obviously the memeable one because somehow Palpatine returned is like the funniest opening line in like
ever.
Any movie ever, because it's just like they don't care.
They don't know
like this being
the
established.
Dead speak.
Yeah, we just like have to do this and accept it, or you're not on board. It's like buckle up your seatbelt on this roller coaster, or don't ride it. Like we don't actually care about, the deeper themes or whatever. But yeah, I think it's interesting because theme parks in our industry like kind of began doing that.
Yeah.
And Toby, I know you wanted to talk about this too, so I can pawn it off to you to like break that down. But this is not new to us.
Dude,
no,
just look at Main Street, right?
Right.
Yeah. From the origination of one of the original pinnacles of our industry, Disneyland, Main Street is just an idealized, nostalgic version of Walt's hometown.
Right.
It's the 1920s, but it's like it's like the best. It's 1920s minus that whole depression thing.
It's like Toby. Have you ever played BioShock Infinite? It's like
yeah, dude.
Walking through the the 1910s like Americana of like this is an idealized America, and we had to separate from America to create it, and
right.
It's literally like just there's feel in that game especially, but in some narrative like that, but shadows lurking behind the nostalgic and idealized view type of thing.
That's just reality.
I mean, even like Main Street obviously is the most like easy example, and like you said, like it was the first original theme park. You can debate with Knott's and whatever, or if you think Coney Island was a theme park, whatever. I'm open to that conversation. But like the thing that started this whole mess is Disneyland, and yeah, I mean that whole park was entirely based on like whether it's selling nostalgia in the case of Main Street or like a nostalgia for this idealized version of the Old West in Frontierland, and like adventure serials on TV in Adventureland, like Tarzan and things like that. Before the animated Tarzan in the 90s, like Tarzan is just like a common domain or public domain character, and that was kind of the idea is Adventure Man, right? Like they're selling all of these ideas.
Well, and it was also like Swiss Family Robinson, which I think it might have gone back to last time I was there.
It is
in is it now in Disneyland? Really?
Yeah,
no, it's the family tree house, whatever.
No. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But even then, that was like an IP, right?
Sure. Yeah. So you mean, and now it wasn't there an opening, but like even New Orleans Square is a nostalgic like French Quarter little Bourbon Street. Like that's what it is.
I will say there was one park that said "fuck you." It was the opposite of this, and that was Epcot. Epcot literally was the opposite of this that we're just talking about. They were the one non-nostalgia part, kind of, because they were looking ahead, not looking.
But also,
they're looking ahead, not looking. I mean, I'm not saying for us. I'm saying when they first opened.
Sure, they're also like selling you countries.
Future World, I would agree.
Future World, fine, fuck it. Future
World Showcase is like
World Showcase
exactly this.
Okay, but Future World, give them their flowers, and Tomorrowland, but two lands that were the opposite.
Right.
Now Tomorrowland is unintentionally nostalgic because it's falling apart. It's not been updated
retro
since.
Futurist look.
I don't even think it's intentional. I think it just hasn't been updated in like when's the last time they updated Tomorrowland at Disneyland?
80s probably.
I would say that Animal Kingdom might be the most of a departure from that, property based format up until recently with and with the introduction I think of Avatar and since then, especially with like Indiana Jones coming there now and all that stuff, different, but you know.
No, it's this is totally like a brain zap moment, but like maybe that's why I didn't fuck with Celestial Park as much. Maybe it's not nostalgic for me. Maybe it's
No.
like
Because it's just different and it's its own
Yeah.
thing.
it's just
not
it's just hyper modern.
Well, like, yeah, and like, you know, the Universal parks and Hollywood studios, like the movie magic, right? That's the whole like
Yeah.
original idea, and that was like an idyllic version of Hollywood, and it's supposed to give you this feeling of like I'm in the movies, and it's like that nostalgia. I know the connotation of it means the past, but also like it's the same feeling. It's like warm, fuzzy, recognizable like comfort.
Yeah. Oh, I
That's
like
what
this
it is.
thing.
I like this thing. I know
I
this
get to
thing.
interact with it.
Right. And even like, you know, rides that we herald as like some of the great rides of all time, specifically in Hollywood studios, like the Great Movie Ride is like this to a fucking
yeah,
T.
yeah,
Like, exactly
fully.
this.
It's literally
it's
like,
like-
it's in the title.
Yeah.
These are
so
great movies you love.
I think it's all about execution, as everything is, but I honestly can't put my finger on a lot of it because like I talked about it in the video I did about Josh Tomorrow, like Tiana's should be this. It's like
Which, if you haven't checked out our
iconography.
YouTube page,
Yeah.
you should definitely do so at Fully
do
Immersed
that.
Pod.
You should do that, yeah. But like Tiana's Bayou Adventure is like not scenes from Princess and the Frog, but like basically images from Princess and the Frog in like slightly
Yeah.
new arranged scenes. And it's why doesn't that work?
Because
Why
there's
isn't
not
it
really
hitting
a
as
story
hard?
happening, right?
'Cause there's nothing going on, I guess. Yeah.
It's counting on you to remember the story beats, I guess.
Or that nostalgia is competing with the other nostalgia that was the original nostalgia, which is kind of problematic nostalgia, but still nostalgia of Splash Mountain. I've said nostalgia like 10 times in one sentence. So
But even Splash Mountain, like, I don't know. I mean, I get why they changed it. I don't really have an issue with changing it. But I think
yeah,
like Song of the South is very difficult to watch. Like I've seen it because I took a history of animation class, and it was just part of, you know, the realities of
Sure.
early animation, a lot of problematic
Yeah.
depictions and whatnot. But like that ride more so functioned as in like a folklore Americana kind of feel,
Yeah.
less so like
that's what I'm saying though. It had like
plantation South. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It
It
had that
also-
like, you know,
It sort of had a story, right?
Oh, it definitely had a story.
Like it had
Yeah.
a story and all that, and
the villain?
At least it seems like more of a story than Tiana's does.
Yeah. So I think
So-
like the nostalgia part isn't the problem. Just the way that I don't necessarily think intellectual property is the problem, and we've like gushed about Epic Universe, but in the same way, like that park's entirely built of intellectual property, but it delivers in a way that, you know, the Super Mario Galaxy movie doesn't. And again, none of us have seen it, but like Cry Me a River, I've seen the first one. It was awful. Everyone
It's
says this
bad.
one's worse.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's awful. Like I don't doubt it.
Yeah. You
So
know,
it's
it
like,
was-
you gotta have something beneath the surface of just iconography. You know, do something
Or-
a little different
or spacing, right? Of like
or pacing.
which
Yeah,
like I kind of wonder if Universal has this pretty obvious plan to have Harry Potter in every park, some
Sure.
Harry Potter area in every park, some Nintendo area in every park, etc. And I almost kind of wonder if that's eventually going to get tiring to people of
Mhm.
like the same properties across the parks.
I
If
have
it'll-
seen some of that sentiment online about Potter.
If it'll ever lead to like, well, why would I go to all three parks then if it's just like the same IPs in every park?
Mhm.
But I can't say that like I would feel that way or that most people would feel that way because there's still completely individual attractions, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Which was kind of interesting. I was telling Spencer about it before we recorded, but Toby, when I was at Trans World a couple weeks ago, for those of you who don't know, Trans World is a major Halloween and partially Christmas expo in St. Louis every year in like late March, early April, usually around March Madness time. And it's essentially like everybody from the haunted house industry is there. And so there was a panel there with the CEO of my company, as well as the owner and operator of Netherworld Haunted House, which is out in Georgia, big property there. And then TJ Monorino, apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, who is high up at Universal Orlando. He's been there for like 30 years and he does Horror Nights.
Right.
And it was interesting to hear him and also my company to a certain extent talk about nostalgia, because obviously right before Trans World happened, which was a couple weeks ago now, they had announced that Jack the Clown was returning to Horror Nights this upcoming year. And he kind of talked about that a little bit, about almost like, it sounded like almost like massaging the nostalgia factor of like, they can't have a major icon character like him there every year, because then it's not special and you lose
Right.
that nostalgia factor. And so they usually try to hold that to like anniversary years, like once every 5 years, right? 30th anniversary, 35th anniversary,
The
et cetera.
35th, yeah.
And where they can bring, a major icon like Jack the Clown there, and engage not only the people that go every year, because those people are going to come no matter what, so there is like an audience level to it as well, but you have the people that come every year, you have the people that go once and are like, cool, that was fun, I don't really need to do that again, you're not into that stuff, whatever.
Right.
But then you also have people who might go every once in a while, and if you give them a reason of like, it's an anniversary year, there's a major icon character back, they have more of a reason to feel like they're going to miss out if they don't go. And so I've been thinking about that a lot ever since, of like, how do you stage that so that you're keeping the nostalgia but also giving maximum engagement, right?
Yeah, sure. You have to like play your cards right. You can't just drop every single thing you have. I think it's kind of why they have yet to go in a direction where it's like all IPs, because like, would they make more money? Probably, but also like, you've got to have reasons to come back, and you've got to
Right.
have like, because what do we always say about especially Halloween events, but like, you go for the IPs draw you in and the originals like stay with you.
Yep.
Right, like that's always how it goes. So I think they need to have a way to bring people in. And if you have a year where it's Stranger Things, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, if you like just blow your load, for lack of a
Right.
better term,
Below that load.
and then it's just like, okay, I've done like all of the things I'd want to see, and the people that aren't like fascinated with the process and the original aspect of it, like they're not going to go to Orlando for original houses, right? They're going to go to
Yeah.
the place down the street.
Which I will say, like, for a while there, remember they were doing like a Halloween maze like every year, every other year.
Bro, how many-
for a chunk there?
How many
And
Michael Myers houses have we gotten at
There-
this point?
There was a year where I was like,
Sure.
I'm not doing that one. I'm not going to wait in the line for that one. I know what it's going to be.
Right.
And so it's like it lost me a bit, right?
Yeah, they are unique because it's all temporary, right? They have their 2-month run, versus like building an attraction that's supposed to be there for 15 to 20 years.
Right.
But it is kind of the same idea where you can't overdo it. And I think maybe that's where this like backlash has come from, because it doesn't take very long on the internet to find people complaining about IP in Disney parks. The three of us have done it too.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
it's
we've
like,
contributed to the void.
yeah, everything can't be that, because then it's not special. And Lane, you talked a little bit about Marvel before we started. We were kind of riffing about this and how they had this really good thing going, and then
Yeah.
they
It was just like
more,
movie,
more and more,
show.
Yeah, 7 shows that lead up to this movie, and it's like,
Yeah.
you run the IP into the ground. You've like
which was like,
exhausted the interesting part of this.
for example, like they've made almost, and people have said this online for quite a while, they've almost made work out of that, and people have critiqued Marvel on that from the beginning, but that's also a different opinion from the interactive nature of the universe they've created. So I feel like that's just, you either like it or you don't. But a lot of people don't like being forced to watch a bunch of stuff in order to watch one movie. We had to catch up on Black Widow and then Hawkeye before we watched Thunderbolts, because I was like, I know the character of Yelena Belova, but I don't know what she's gone through like in the actual universe,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Like, so there was like, oh, if you want to understand or know where it is, or at least the backstory leading up to this, that you kind of have to do that stuff. Like, I didn't watch WandaVision, and so I did feel I knew kind of what happened in it, so I wasn't lost, but I was a little, perplexed a bit with like Wanda's character in Doctor Strange, for example.
Sure, yeah.
Of like, oh, okay, she's had a major attitude change, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you know, there's a bit of a disconnect there because they've made like almost work out of engaging with the world, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, it also like you can't have required reading for entertainment, whether it's a film or themed entertainment or a TV show or whatever. Like, you know, part of why I think Avengers Campus hasn't stuck in the cultural zeitgeist beyond the quality of the actual like design of the land, you know, just being tan buildings,
Sure.
is that maybe it feels like you have to be a fan of the movies to like understand what's going on in some capacity. Like,
Huh.
like
That's an
Spider-Man
interesting
building
thought.
spider bots isn't a really Spider-Man character thing to do outside of the MCU. Like Peter
Yeah.
Parker is very intelligent, but Peter Parker's not Iron Man. That's always been the argument that people have
Yeah.
online about the MCU Spider-Man.
Whereas, like,
Um,
as we compare all the time, the original Spider-Man ride in
Is
Orlando is like,
the most Spider-Man
hey,
shit ever.
yeah, you're in a journalism vehicle because,
Yeah.
you know, he works for the Daily Bugle and everybody
Yeah.
knows that, you know?
You're
Like, it's
walking
just,
through the offices and J. Jonah Jameson's like yelling at you, and it's like, yes, it's the same thing. It's selling nostalgia, but I guess you're more engaged in it because there's just a more narrative through line. It's not just like, because I think like
all these spider bots are
all these
loose. You
spider
gotta
bots are
help me.
everywhere, and we spent all our money getting I almost said Tom DeLonge, getting Tom Holland. I got aliens on the brain, guys.
Yeah.
Tom Holland to like film a fucking 10-minute scene, and it's like that's the
Yeah.
draw. It's Tom Holland Spider-Man. It's like, all
Mhm.
right, but there's not really a story
Yeah,
here.
But what's Tom Holland Spider-Man doing? Not much.
Right. Like not much.
This
So
is
I
the
think-
most dangerous night of my life.
Yeah, like we remember the lines
Yeah.
from that
Of-
attraction.
yeah. Of Spider-Man, yeah.
Versus like I can't tell you anything that happens in Spider-Man Spider Bot Rescue, whatever the fuck it's called. Web Slingers. It's called Web Slingers. I just
Web-Slinger.
remembered.
Spider Bot Rescue.
Spider Bot Rescue. It might as well be called that. And like I don't know, but even like Mission Breakout, like the narrative is thin, but at least there's a thrust. And so we all like it of like there's, you know, Rocket is breaking the Guardians out. The Collectors capture the Guardians. Done.
Yeah.
You're taking iconography
character
from the
you
show.
met in the movie
Yeah.
is holding them captive.
It's holding them
Cool.
captive. And even if you haven't seen the movie and don't know these characters, there's a really fun animatronic raccoon who's basically telling you jailbreak story. And you're like, got it.
Yeah.
Jailbreak. Got it. Simple,
got it.
like thing people are accustomed to, a narrative
Gotta
we
get in the
understand.
gantry lift.
Yeah, get in the gantry lift. Like Indiana Jones, right? One of the greatest attractions of all time. Is like just iconography from those movies, but like you get the little movie in the queue and you get the little storytelling. You're like, yeah, Adventure Man.
Yeah.
We're going
Adventure
to a
Man.
temple in South America. Adventure Man. Got it. Like there's just, you know, it's all just about execution and like at least setting. You can't.
It's
The story can't be look at this. The look at this has to be like the dressing.
there's a
know what I'm
point there
saying?
too, dude, where like because you take that attraction specific, right?
Yeah.
You're right. It's all iconography from the other movies, which are other tombs or places that he's been to
Yeah.
that we've all kind of hammered into this one Temple of the Forbidden Eye, right?
Right.
And it's its own story. It has a story. It's its own setting, but it is recognizable iconography. It has the boulder. It has the Temple of Doom skulls and shit.
Right.
Like, you know, it has all that, which I think maybe that's why that's interesting. Maybe that's why I've always been like partial to like Forbidden Journey, because it's kind of that. It's its
Right.
own story that you're interacting with between the movies, supposedly, but it's the familiar iconography from the movies of the Whomping Willow and the Dementors and
Think-
Aragog, you know?
Right.
You guys are so close. It's. I mean, no, you're just not. The overall thread is it's
Heads there.
It's expanding on the universe.
There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
It's expanding on it. It's familiar. It's not too different,
Yeah.
right? Because we've bagged on it so many times. Galaxy's Edge took a sharp turn. It didn't. It wasn't. It didn't have the anchor of something you knew established to then expand on it. It was too new,
Yeah.
right? So
It
like
was basically an
yeah.
original concept with
exactly.
like nuggets of Star Wars, and they wanted it to do numbers of Star Wars iconography, and it didn't.
So
Right?
so like for example, Mission
And QR
Breakout.
codes.
Mission
Enjoy.
Breakout, you're expanding on the Collector. We don't really spend a lot of time with him in Guardians in the first one. What's the other one? Cosmic Rewind on Celestials. That's really the plot of the whole thing. Is Celestial. So you have an expansion there.
Yeah.
What else the fuck were we just talking about? Even Forbidden Journey. Forbidden Journey.
Star Tours.
Yeah, so you're going off iconography that is nostalgic, and you are expanding that story to a place where it works. I think one of the most interesting rides to go off, it's not actually it's an original IP, but it's become something else totally. Is Journey to the Imagination at Epcot.
Oh sure,
And
yeah.
I think it's interesting because that one is that survives purely off nostalgia because
For what it was in the 80s.
exactly the current iteration. No, you can walk.
Everyone
on that.
dislikes.
You can
It's
walk
horrible.
on it. It's a 5-minute. You don't have. You just walk on. It's bad, but you can sell how many Figment popcorn buckets and Figment.
Oh yeah, dude.
And we all love Figment, right? Like every time I'm in Epcot, which I've been in Epcot a couple of years, but I ride it, and like after I get off, I'm like, wow, that was bad. But Figment's so fun.
Yeah. Well, not
Hey,
that
Tower,
Figment. That's
Tower
our
of
no one.
Terror.
No,
Tower of Terror
Figment.
also a great example.
Sure.
Expands
you
on
have
it.
the nostalgic IP of the Twilight Zone,
Yep.
and I mean, for me, that's like literally my favorite show of all time.
Sure.
And they expand upon it, tell their own story within it, but it's still that IP, and it's still in that universe.
Yeah, and I think like, and expanding on it can mean different things. You know, something that I think about that I always think is such a fun idea is all of the Jurassic World attractions
So meta.
all are based in the reality of being in the theme park of Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So it's less like expansion and more like a simulation of being in that world. And then
like
something goes wrong, except for Velocicoaster, which is like the most interesting one of these because it is like something you would see in the background of a Jurassic World film.
Yeah.
Just functional. There's not like a twist. Like obviously, you know, oh, raptor's scary, but like a raptor doesn't eat like a fucking dummy person on the ride. No one like dies. You get off and Chris Pratt's like, that was close or something of that ilk, you know.
Yeah.
And so
she's curious.
She's curious, yeah. Versus like, you know, Jurassic World, the ride, and Jurassic Park River Adventure in Orlando, like the idea is all hell broke loose. So it's like, you're getting like the same beats of the movie, but there's an expansion of like
You're living it.
I'm living it. So it's like that's an interesting IP for this, I guess, when you have an intellectual property that is
a theme park.
Inside a theme park.
Well, and one of them,
It's like what else do you do?
The original Jurassic Park River Adventure in Hollywood and the one in Orlando, right, are rooted in the earlier Universal era of you're in the movie.
Right.
Or
sure.
this is how the movie got made. Hey, remember these beats from the movie? And they made that shift over time into you're just in the world now.
Yeah.
And that is, you're completely correct on like the Velocicoaster example of like, hey, the whole cool thing that people liked about the original Jurassic World movie was that you actually got to see what it would have looked like if Jurassic Park had succeeded.
For like 25 minutes of screen time, it's like, hey, look at this like state of the art badass theme park.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, that's fun.
That's always been my like hot take. If I was given the keys to that franchise, I would just make a movie about operational difficulties at Jurassic World. Like I wouldn't have them break out at all. Like, I'd have it about R&D or something. Like I don't know.
That would be like a great like adult audience like animated show.
Yeah, or like an HBO series, just like about,
almost like a Star Trek Lower Decks type thing. You know,
like, about like the ethics of InGen as a company, and you know, I'm like. That to me is like more interesting than like dinosaurs break out. Yeah. But also,
if
like,
you're just like the IT
shit.
guy, if you're just the IT guy at Jurassic World, what would that look like day to day?
Totally. Like I always just thought that'd be fun, but also like I understand I'm very much the minority on that. But yeah.
Hagrid's also a great example of this. They have a bunch of creatures in there. It takes place within the movie universe, but there's a lot of creatures in there that aren't in the movies and are only in the books or in Fantastic Beasts movies if you happen to watch any of those.
Yeah, but it's also an expansion because the idea is you're like muggles taking a class. Right. So it's less so like...
Which was sort of the similar thing as Forbidden Journey, right?
Right.
Or I guess even
They're sneaking
also,
you in, yeah.
even also Battle at the Ministry is you're
Right.
a Muggle exploring the world, right?
You're not like just witnessing.
Isn't that? Sorry to cut you off. Isn't
No.
that the Gringotts ride too? Are you Muggles in the Gringotts ride?
That's the one's the most interesting because it's directly in the plot of a film.
Yeah,
So,
you're basically just living a
You're in
scene
Deathly
out
Hallows.
of Deathly Hallows.
So
Yeah.
that one was more like the original like Jurassic Park River Adventure, right? Where it's like you're in this scene in Deathly Hallows, you know?
Yeah, and I think like maybe that's why it's the least effective of the Potter attractions, because it is like a book report of Deathly Hallows, and yes, they
Yeah.
acknowledge your presence. You know, like what's so interesting, if anyone ever like reads or watches documentaries about like original Disneyland opening day Fantasyland attractions, the characters weren't there. So they were almost ahead of their time in terms of you were resuming or assuming the position
you were
of
the
Alice
protagonist, yeah.
or of Cinderella,
Yeah.
or not Cinderella, of Snow White. Like
Yeah.
they didn't like, it wasn't like a book report. It was like a POV of the character,
Which
in a
is super
sense.
interesting.
Yeah, and so like that's why like Snow White was so fucking scary, because that shit would be terrifying if you were Snow White and like a 14-year-old girl in like a haunted woods, and a witch is just like trying to kill you all the time, and like so it's like just like, I don't know, that was almost ahead of its time, and an expansion
Pinocchio also,
of the
dude, with the
idea, like,
cage. Fuck.
yeah, and now they just bring the characters in, and it's more so like there's no acknowledgement of you in this story. There's no expansion. And I mean, I like the Fantasyland Dark
Yeah.
Ride. Like, I'm not the only one that's still like that is Toad. All the rest, it's more
Yeah,
like you're
no,
just like
that's-
watching these scenes, you know,
That's
and it's
true.
cute and it's fun, and they're like, but Toad, it's like, no, you're still Mr. Toad.
You're
and
drunk
going to
driving.
hell. Yeah,
Even like Pinocchio, you see them in the whale, and then you get swallowed
Yep.
by the whale, right?
sure, yeah.
So like all of them kind of are more that style now, except for Mr. Toad. That's super interesting.
And it's the oldest one that's been untouched.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's open left.
Well, yeah.
Don't touch
Everywhere
my
else.
drunk driving simulator, I swear to God.
Yeah, my go to hell simulator.
Yeah, come on, that's what it's all about. But no, I think
It's so funny because that works so
Yeah.
well for
it's incredible.
No, but it works so well for the Super Mario issues because it's basically like you're just doing the beats of the nostalgia and assuming kids and nerds are going to be like, that's fun, versus
yeah,
expanding on it in a way where
There's
it's
no
like, oh,
expansion.
this
There's no,
character
like-
is interesting. This side story. Oh, these conflicts are interesting. It's just like, look, it's Mario and it's Luigi and it's voiced by Chris
Yeah.
Pratt.
and they're in
He's so
space,
cool.
and like it looks like Super Mario Galaxy, but it's like, to me, I guess I'm obviously way more lenient with it in the themed entertainment world, because it's kind of like sometimes you are a little bit of like, the iconography does a lot of heavy lifting of storytelling in certain moments in an attraction, and I get that.
For sure.
We're all,
Yeah.
you know, understand.
Oh, I mean,
process,
the whole entire queue of Battle at the Ministry is just
Look at this.
this famous iconography
yeah.
from the
It's
movies.
the Ministry of
Let's-
Magic.
Yeah.
Or
The-
like, you know-
everything Harry Potter, Hogwarts,
Right.
Gringotts, whatever.
Yeah, but it's
And we
built
talked
out,
about-
so you're like, oh, I can actually beat
Built
it.
out, it's cool. Like, versus like, there isn't really much of a difference between watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie and playing Super Mario Galaxy.
No.
But it's more rewarding because you're playing it. So you're controlling the like achievements or failures or whatever. There's like an inherent like dopamine rewarding cycle of like, I'm doing well at this. I'm playing the game. It's fun. Controlling
I'm
Mario
jumping
is
through
fun.
the paintings.
Right.
Wow.
Watching a CG Mario just do Mario things without anything beneath the surface doesn't do the same thing for me. at
That's
least, as it does
literally
for
what
half the
Slinger
movie
is.
going audience.
That's literally
yeah,
what
that's
Slinger
it,
is.
right?
Just watching a CG Spider-Man tell you to shoot CG robots
And it's
with
like, okay,
nothing beneath the surface. There's no story, there's no fun, there's no charm, there's nothing that makes it feel expanded upon. And there's no
Right.
there's not even iconography in that. You're in a freaking
no, like I said, like it's
No, you're just like in New York, right?
no,
New
you're
York,
no,
it's just
you're
like a
you're
warehouse
you're,
or
you're
whatever
in a
the hell.
warehouse. You're in a warehouse.
I can't even fucking remember, dude.
Good,
Yeah.
good on you, man. Good on you. And don't make the mistake of going on it again because you forgot it, because you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think different mediums require different things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think it would be cool if Mario had an arc, as silly as that sentence is. But like
For a movie,
expand these
for a
things.
movie, you kind of need an arc.
You kind of need an arc. Like expand these things. Give the characters I've talked about ad nauseum how much I liked James Gunn's Superman. But but it wasn't just because he did Superman-y things. Like obviously that is great in its own right, because it was like a Superman that was like naive almost, and that was sort of the point. Is that's why he's special, is because he's naive and kind, and that's not a thing in the cynical as world now, and so I think like there's an expansion of the lore there, but still like true to whatever story or characters you're depicting. I don't know. I just think like Illumination is just like the lowest barrel. It's like they're just doing exactly all they need to do to make $1 billion, and they just like don't care. Like the script could have been written by ChatGPT, and I don't think it would have made probably a difference. Like if you feed it all the Mario games and you're like, write generic kids film. And also kids aren't stupid. I just went to a science center this morning, which I'll talk about in our cool thing. And they're seeing kids like really get into interactive things and learn is like kind of magical.
It's
so like when kids are watching slop or brain rot, it's just like the kids are better than this. Like kids aren't dumb. Like they're dumb, but they're not dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like
man.
Yeah.
They just it's losing the plot of I guess IP for I'm trying to think of other examples that do it well and don't do it well. God, we have so many conversations on IP. We really love to talk about it. But like I guess I get Burke iconography that works, and you're just like it captures that feeling. Monsters, you're just like giving a whole new narrative to it. God damn.
Yeah, it's a whole new fresh coat of paint of things that you know, but it's new interpretations. Like Monsters feels more like a movie than the first Mario movie does.
Yeah, it does.
There's like background and story, and there's like more going on. It's not just like like is there a certain amount of like floor raising of it's a Gothic castle that's like Castle Frankenstein. Like got it. Like the windmill bar, like the windmill is next door. Like it looks like the Frankenstein monster movie.
It's funny though, but
interesting going on.
You can't go too far off though with IPs. No. I feel like, because then you get Galaxy's Edge, right?
And that's the problem, right? Is like you're gonna do this. There are like fan service is inherently a bad thing, right? Yeah. So maybe we take the conversation this direction, like. People love Rogue One. I don't really love Rogue One, but people love Rogue One because Rogue One is like entirely fan service, but it's also delivering on what people want in a Star Wars film. It's like there's just
it answered the main plot question of the
fan
original
service
movie.
with taking some risks within what Star Wars was, which is another big part of it.
Still bringing it back to AT-AT walkers, stormtroopers, Darth Vader. Like they hit the beats. But you can but it's all about what you do in the spaces between the beats. And if your product, whether it's a ride, movie, show, is just beats, it's not going to feel as fulfilling as like, something with that, but there's more going on, or there's an expansion of the universe or whatever. Like, I don't know. Because you said it right. And also like selection of IP, like Star Wars, for all its glory, is like pretty limited in what people want out of it. Until something like Andor came out, like people want Jedi versus Sith and Stormtroopers,
right? And
like there's not like so much, open expansion you can do. And I think we've made endless jokes about Hondo and Naka, but that's like exactly jumping the chart, where it's like this is required viewing. It's not like he explains in the queue, "I'm Smuggler Man." You're like, what the fuck is going on?
It's super funny because like I think Marvel in a lot of ways lost its iconography.
Yeah,
once Endgame ended, you kind of lost your. I was looking at
building to this thing for 20 years or whatever.
Once you ended it, you kind of lost it. Like it was like, who gives a shit about these
now what?
Side characters now? Yeah, who are taking over because you killed your main characters, and then like now you're bringing it back, but who cares?
But now you're bringing it back, and it feels cheap.
Yeah,
it's like how I feel about Villains Land, kind of, in Magic Kingdom, where it's like, you've been like thinking about this for 25 years. There's like tons of concept art floating around, and it's like, okay, I think Epic Universe is going to open and really hurt our business. And honestly, if you look at the attendance records last year, it didn't as much. Or Disney is still leading, but I think this is a thing that'll take time. But it wasn't right. It didn't blow the doors off the Orlando resorts. Like Universal attendance at the other two parks stayed about the same. So it was more like people were adding it on to an existing Universal vacation. They weren't making a vacation for that sole reason. But
two things from me on the Avengers thing. Like I almost feel like my issue with it, at least in feeling, is like you had two movies plus, two main Avengers movies to build up to the third and fourth Avengers movie, which were a two-parter, right? And then we're just rolling right into another two-parter. Like there hasn't been like any real setup to Doom at all. Like except for maybe a little bit in Fantastic Four-ish, like tiny.
Yeah, he exists.
More just a tease that he exists, but that's it. Like it's not really a build-up. Like remember when we first saw Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy? That was 2014. Or right? Wasn't it? Like 2013, 2014? Like, and so I feel like that's my thing there. But also, I was gonna ask you guys, so what's the difference in these lands that try to almost hit that nostalgia point, but also reject like the fan service element of it in a way, at least or I shouldn't even say that, reject the iconography, but try to still deliver on the fan service, I guess, in a meaningful way. What's the difference between Dark Universe and Galaxy's Edge? Because I know that we all like Dark Universe more.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is it? What is that doing well? Because it's also new concept for that property, right? It's different. So what is that doing more successful than Galaxy's Edge?
The problem, in my opinion, with Galaxy's Edge has always been the expectations.
Yeah.
Like you're tying it to one of the most successful at the time, not anymore, film franchises of all time. It's obviously lost its luster in recent years because of Disney Plus and whatever. Versus like
Cars
story in that universe with Cars.
No, I was gonna talk about Cars just because I'll talk about it later. But you finish your.
Oh yeah. But like you're still like really constrained by Star Wars, right? Like this land when it opened, they don't give a shit anymore, was like directly between 8 and 9, and it was like Rey and First Order, and it was like within the probably least popular game. It's a role-playing game in the least popular trilogy in the series. But you're boxed into a hole.
That's such a wild thing to say, but it's not inaccurate.
No, it's true.
It's
and
crazy.
People are nostalgic for the prequels now, which is madness because those movies are really bad. But
this is madness.
But versus Monsters is like, yes, there is like beats you got to hit. People want to see the monsters, but like, I think something I find the most interesting about Monsters is it's like literally a sequel to 1930 whatever Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like you have Boris Karloff's monster in the queue in like a little tank, all fucked up, and it's like the great grandfather, and they call him Henry. They don't call him Victor because in the original movie he's called Henry because movies did that in the 30s and 40s. They just changed names for no reason at all. So it's like I think it's a more open sandbox, and you can still deliver what people want. Like if you tell someone like classic Monsters, like there's a vision of in their head, whether it's Bela Lugosi or Karloff's Frankenstein or the Wolfman or whatever, but there's
it's Victoria Frankenstein.
It's Victoria Frankenstein. You're like, okay, yeah,
like different universe or whatever.
Yeah, but it's broad enough.
It's the Dark Universe multiverse.
Yeah, and you can still like tell a story beginning to end in it versus like Rise of the Resistance, as incredible and impressive and everything as it is just Escape Star Destroyer. And it really is like iconography, right? Stormtroopers shoot at you, you're dodging the cannons, there's AT-AT walkers, there's this, there's that. And so like, there's a story being told, but it's like,
and there's brilliant, groundbreaking special effects. Like
it's incredible. Like it's an amazing ride. I'm in no way dogging it.
Yeah.
But why it doesn't seem to have the same amount of impact to me, at least, and why Galaxy's Edge is like just like the quiet part of Disneyland now is I think it's both IP selection made it more constrained. They tried to do too much, and you just put your chips on you put your money on the wrong horse. Like it's just the wrong. The wrong trilogy in that series to base your fucking land on. Like it's really just that simple. And they couldn't have known that at the time, but that's where we are now, where like people see Kylo Ren and they're like, because like if it was Darth Vader, people still go nutty for Darth Vader in Star Wars Launch Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, now just I think that's that on that conversation. Let's just move on to something interesting before we go to cool thing of the week, because our predictions were just completely off. Not completely off, but it's like not the greatest look. With Josh Tomorrow officially taking over and his first action being laying off 1,000 employees.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
that did happen. I know I got like egg on my face as the Josh Tomorrow guy. My cope is that this was probably already in motion of it
Yeah.
happening. But you know,
Sure. Yeah.
if not, it's tough. I think, unfortunately, the orange man has made this economy just worse and worse and worse, especially like tourism is tanked.
Yeah.
Just everything costs more money and whatever. So I think smart companies are probably trying to downsize a bit at this moment in time.
I think it's
Yeah.
marketing mostly they hit. They only hit
Marketing,
marketing.
and
Oh,
they
yeah.
put a shitload
Oh,
of money into an open AI deal that fell
It's
through.
always
Oh,
fucking
that's
marketing
that's
first,
just
bro.
funny for me. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, they
Fuck
like tried to
you.
do this whole AI deal with Disney Plus, and now they're like backing out of it, and they owe like millions and millions and millions of dollars. So
Eat
I
shit.
don't know. You got to run. Yeah, like it was. I mean, it was a terrible move that Daddy Iger made. I mean, the AI bubble is going to burst here any minute now. Like,
Yeah.
there's all these exposés about how Sam Altman's a con man, which, yeah,
Duh.
Yeah.
everyone with a brain knew this.
We're just like
Um,
we're teetering in two different realities, and one of them is literally Skynet. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like it's
Well, they're just
out there and it's
overselling what it
possible.
is. It's not
Yeah.
sentient.
Yeah.
It's like an algorithm. It's just like a fed algorithm of words.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a language model. Like when you explain it to someone as it's a language model, it loses so much of its luster versus you're like, it's artificial intelligence. Not really. Like
Yeah.
like it's not like a computer you can talk to like in Star Trek or in like Project Hail Mary, which is
No,
amazing.
it's
by the
it's
way.
not
great
fucking
movie.
it's not fucking Mother and Alien. It's not.
No, like
you know?
it is effectively Siri that has a really fast processing like algorithm to be able to like write or like come up with responses, but it's not thinking. It's not actually assessing much. You know what I'm saying? So
Even though
anyways,
it says it is.
even though it says it is, it's not.
analyzing and thinking about things, it's not.
And it's like the .com burst in the 2000s where it's like you're just selling something that's hoping you invent it by the time that the rubber hits the road and where the rubber is hitting the road. And we're just not there yet. I mean, themed entertainment, like it has very much been a thing. Like a lot of like immersive exhibits have been using it for projection effects and stuff to kind of like generate imagery. Like my company I work with has used it for concept arts before, and we've had to like, use it
Sure.
as a basis and have an artist like do a
Right,
interpretation
right.
of that.
That's
but
fine.
even then it's still like,
It's become the norm. That's
and
just
it
how
also it's become the norm, and it's also easy to spot if you don't fix
Oh
it up.
yeah.
So it's like really embarrassing if it breaks through. Like Silverwood,
It's-
the theme park
it's
up
easy
here, is
to-
using it as ads, and it looks
It's
fucking
easy
terrible.
to it's easy to count 6, 7, 8 fingers, right?
Right? Yeah.
8
Or
fingers
even
9.
like shit that 8 fingers 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that fucking Coca-Cola commercial over the holidays. Remember? God, it's so
Holidays are coming.
obviously AI, and then they
Yeah.
had to put the little AI notice on it after the fact.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we know, Coke. We know.
Yeah, we know, Coke. We saw it.
This
Yeah.
ain't news. But yeah, that's my guess as to why this is happening. But it could also be he's just having to be kind of ruthless to start and
Yeah.
make ends
It's
meet. I don't know.
I mean, not a great
Not a great start.
not a great start to have tied. Not a great first move to have tied to your record.
Probably not.
So, yeah.
I'll take that L to start, but I still believe.
yeah.
Still believe.
um,
To begin.
I think that we can go ahead and move on after addressing that to cool thing of the week.
Yeah. So, cool thing of the week. Do you want to start, Lane, Toby, or I can go? What does it matter to me?
I can go first.
Go for it.
I sort of spoiled my cool thing of the week that I wanted to talk about, but I did attend Trans World
Yeah.
a couple weeks back in St. Louis. Super fun. It's a great expo for anything haunted house related. If you are interested in haunted houses in any sort of way or shape or form, you'd enjoy it. It's just there's a combination of a lot of like local mom and pop haunted houses, a lot of vendors that cater to those, down from major fabricating companies to, hey, I made this giant animatronic of a werewolf. Would you like to buy it? You know, it is such an interesting group of people to interact with. It was super fun. So if you like
gives
horror,
you like
and,
behind the curtain kind of just even themed entertainment in general, like
yeah,
people buy animatronic companies exist. Universal and
Yes.
Disney don't make all of them, right? They work with other
Right.
companies that build them. So it's just this is a very vendor based industry.
yes, absolutely.
We got to do that
A lot
episode.
of-
We got to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a
Bring
lot
on
of
friends.
you know, even ticketing vendors and things like that there
Oh, yeah.
for hey, like this applies to your haunted house, etc. Food and beverage vendors there, you know,
Definitely.
like photo vendors there, because believe it or not, people still buy the shit out of souvenir photos.
Dude, that's crazy to me, but they so do.
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely do, especially now that it's like we see print media as a higher tier that we're willing to pay for than
Coming
digital.
all the way back around.
Yeah, it's like
Media,
completely
yeah.
reversed, right? And so, yeah, it super interesting though, really fun, just absolute melting pot of the haunt world. So
Yeah.
I think that you two would have a blast if you were
I would
ever
love
able
to
to go.
Yeah.
Super fun. I would say that if you can see most of the show, if you're there as just somebody exploring or as a buyer, you could probably do most of the show in a day. But obviously, like working with my company, who's an exhibitor there, like I was there for the whole week. So super fun. But yeah, absolutely great time that we had there. Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah. Toby, you want to go or you want me to go?
I can go. I mean,
Yeah.
my life every day right now is a theme park. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I think that's a good place to draw the line. Yeah.
But I will say, I discovered this place called Shields.
Oh, it was literally Shields. They have one in Reno.
Yo,
Really? Shit.
yo, what the fuck is
Bizarre
Shields?
place.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is Shields? The one that
What the
Basically
fuck
Bass
is
Pro,
Shields?
but like
Dude, but-
random.
Bro,
Oh.
it's like imagine a sporting goods store that's a theme park. That's what I describe it
Yeah.
as.
Oh,
like
God.
random animatronics.
Yeah, there were
everywhere. Like,
two. There were like I went today again because I was just bored.
it's weird.
So like there's like this one has two animatronics of athletes, and they are so bad, and I love them.
Does it have the presidents? The one in Reno has like Lincoln and
No,
Washington
no. This
talking.
one,
Okay.
this one has a baseball player from a team here and a football player from a team here, and then there was a random fucking raptor somewhere. Then there's a shooting gallery, which is really funny.
Yeah.
A bowling alley, and a giant fucking Ferris wheel in the middle.
It's the Disneyland of sporting goods stores. Like Casa
Yeah.
Bonita is the Disneyland
No,
of
it's
business.
I was
so-
like you saying there's a shooting gallery literally reminded me of the Casa Bonita documentary.
yeah.
when
Literally, it
when
is.
Trey like I'll pay for the shooting gallery. It's okay.
We're getting it.
We're getting
It is so fucking bizarre as
Yeah.
a place. And
Kind of fun though, huh?
another thing I'll talk about is just going off this conversation. I saw a movie yesterday called Faces of Death. Barbie Ferreira horror movie, and I thought it was a remake because there is a 1970s movie called Faces of Death, but they did something really interesting, or the original movie is part of the plot of
Oh.
the new one. We're not as in like what happens in the original movie is followed upon. No, the movie itself, that it has the same name, is a plot point. Like
Oh, like overlaps or something, or
basically it is a serial killer, and he is recreating the kills in that movie in a lot
Oh,
of ways.
interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, it's like
Okay.
the Anaconda sequel I watched. with
Yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Paul
so-
Rudd.
Yeah.
that movie
So
sucks.
no, this one was surprisingly good, and I just was like,
Good,
this is
I'm
an
glad.
interesting way to do a remake where it's almost like the name is there to get your butt in the seat, but then it's actually it's an original thing, and it's not even making you do homework. It's like, oh, by the way, yeah, this exists, and it's actually part of the plot point. Like in this universe,
Yeah,
this
that's
movie
cool.
happens.
Is
Yeah,
that like how Jump Street was like sort of a weird reboot remake? ultra comedy, and then it turns out that it's in the same universe as
Yeah,
the
that Johnny
original
Depp
one.
and them.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's something like that. This would be like
Different than that.
This would
This
be
is the movie exists.
yes. This would
and
be
this
like
guy's
this.
as a medium in the greater
This would be
in the extra movie in the second movie.
This would be like if they watched 21 Jump Street in the remake and then decided they wanted to do 21 Jump Street.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Anaconda, where they were making a remake of Anaconda.
Yeah.
With Paul Rudd and Jack Black.
It's like the opening monologue of Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. It's a movie about making a movie. Or it's a movie about the events of a movie that exists in the mise-en-scène of the
that
movie.
are based on a fake book.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, I
Conception.
at some point I'll be able to talk about what I'm working on, but until then,
Yeah. This would be exciting.
Shields is fucking weird, man.
Shields is weird. Yeah.
Why is there a
I didn't
Ferris
realize
wheel?
that you were sending videos of it being Shields. I was like, I remember Shields. When I used to go to Reno basketball tournaments, I would go to Shields, and it was weird
Really?
as hell then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
in Reno, or it might be in Tahoe technically, but it's in that area.
dude.
I
I'm gonna
never
go to that one.
went
I want to
anywhere in
see. I
Reno.
want to see how different they are because like this thing blew my mind when I went for the first time. I was like,
Dude, if you
what?
want us to like take you around Sacramento, we can make our way over there.
Oh my god! I was like,
Be
what the
great.
fuck is this? Anyway,
Honestly, Toby would love Old Town Sacramento.
Sure,
I
Old Sac
I would
is fun.
vibe. I would vibe.
Yeah. Dude, we can go to the Railroad Museum.
I would fuck with that. My
We
god.
could absolutely go.
The Railroad Museum is the best.
Definitely get some beers first, though.
Oh yeah, just
Many-
drunk walking around the
many
Railroad
beers.
Museum. Hit a
you
saloon.
got-
There's a bunch of saloons over there.
There's a bunch of saloons. Yeah.
Sorry,
like
I've-
real old saloons that people have
Oh yeah,
died in. Probably.
oh yeah, swinging doors.
Yeah.
All right,
Do a little shootout.
that's my cool
Anyways.
thing.
Oh yeah. This morning actually, I went to the Pacific Science Center, which is
Nice.
a science center. It's the Seattle Science Center. So yeah, it was fun. It was very much made for kids, but we wanted to go because they opened a new spider exhibit, and they also have a like,
Gross.
butterfly garden. And I don't know, I like bugs, and
I
butterfly
love
garden's always
spiders.
fun. But this one was huge. It was like many rooms of like butterflies, and you get a little feeder and
cool.
feed them, and it was cool. Yeah, I love when people take like zoological exhibits and do something interesting and interactive with them. I think it like impacts more than just like seeing
Yeah.
a deer in a in
In an
like a
enclosed space.
Yeah, in an
Yeah.
enclosed space. Like having a more like personalized one-to-one interaction will like impact you more.
Quick,
For sure,
Quick
yeah.
building off this. Did you know that I just discovered this recently at the California Science Center? Apparently, they did like a butterfly garden type thing, but with spiders.
That's at the Natural History Museum. I've done it. Yeah, they do it every October. It's like orb weavers. They just walk in.
Oh
like,
God, dude.
It's like a netted area, and they're just like always doing their thing.
That sounds so cool.
You don't-
doing the builds that I, the load-ins that I work
Yeah.
on for our LA events. Fuck, dude.
So many orb weavers.
So
Orb
many
weavers,
orb
they're
weavers.
everywhere,
They're
dude.
everywhere,
They're
dude.
chunky,
It's
They're chunky.
they're
big.
big.
They're
bro.
big.
Like I literally, if I see one, like I get nauseous. Like
Really? They're so
you've never
cool.
you've never seen me so green as when
Wow.
like one of those comes down.
they're
Dude, I have
harmless. They're
3
harmless.
Spiders behind me on.
I
my
know
shelf.
they just freak me out.
Are they jumping
Yeah.
Oh, I love
spiders?
I have a jumper. I have 2 jumpers actually. I caught a baby one off my Christmas tree. His name is Krampus.
Aw.
And I have one named Fuzz. I've had for like a year.
Spider
And then
puppies.
we have our tarantula. Yeah, they are. Yeah,
I
they
love
are.
jumpers.
They're funny. They're like fish. I put them on. I put their tank on my desk when I'm working, and it's cute.
You ever handle
But
them?
anyways, yeah, I have. They're jump. I mean, they jump.
But they're cute. They're
You
cute.
gotta keep them.
Aren't they curious
I
and like
lose my
they?
mind.
Yeah, they do a little hand wave. They come up and they're like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I
they're
love
funny.
jumping
They're definitely funny.
spiders. I want one.
I
in
lose
hell.
my mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
There's
Dude,
no
you gotta
way.
Come visit me
There's
and I'll show
no
you off.
way I would. No,
they're
I'm
spider
getting-
puppies. They're,
no,
no, look,
there's-
they're so
like,
cute. Look
I
them up.
promise
They're
you,
the cutest
I
spiders.
can't sleep in your place. Like
Oh my
they're,
God.
They're like this
if they're
big.
in there,
They're like
I
this
can't do it.
big,
No.
and they're so cute. They're like
Yeah,
little
dude.
puppies.
Baby.
They're little puppies. They're little puppies.
no.
I love them.
Anyways,
Sorry.
the spider exhibit had like probably like 15 live specimens, but they also had like really big like projection mapped like life cycles, and they had projection mapped like spiders going along the wall. And
That's
it was just like
sick.
fun.
That's
It was like a way to
Yeah.
like immerse kids in this kind of like creepy crawly space. They had like a random moon that was just like in the, I think it used to be like an old planetarium room or something, like a big spherical moon, and they would project a spider walking on it.
Why
And I was
not?
like, this is silly.
Why
Yeah.
not?
But they had
That's
like kids could like play with like a little like gear ship that was supposed to be like the spider's pedipalps, which are their front hands that they used to catch things. And there was like balls that had wings on them, like bugs, and so the pedipalps could like snatch the balls in this little game. It just, I like to think of like silly interactive activations for kids. Like, oh, I want to go play the spider catching the bug game, but they're also learning how like spider anatomy works. I don't know, it's fun. So I enjoyed that. It was silly. It was very much for kids, but you know, we have library cards, so it was discounted. And yeah, Pacific Science Center, cool time, right next to the Space Needle. Anyways, yeah, that was my cool thing.
I've been there.
Yeah, nice. There you go.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us, folks. Thank you, one and all, for joining us for another episode of Fully Immersed. Hey, if you're listening to us on a podcast app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and subscribe. Give us 5 stars if you can, preferably 5 middle fingers, but usually they don't allow for that. Pretty specialized app that you have to be on for that. If you are joining us on YouTube, hello, thanks for joining us. We are on YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram at Fully Immersed Pod. If you're joining us on YouTube, hey, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. That way we can keep getting pumped to the top of your algorithm. Make sure to follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube as well, because we are posting additional fun little videos, video essays, remotes, things like that. So make sure to tune in for that on YouTube. Other than that, folks, I've been Lane Calder. This has been Spencer Bennett and the Big Cheese himself, Tobias Lerman Matante, and we will see you all next time.